everyone, I'm Michelle McLean, your host for TIP Radio, Top Industry Professionals, where we showcase professionals from around the globe in all industries, sharing their stories of success and experiences. We are so blessed today to have a wonderful member of IAOTP. He is a world-renowned artist whose contributions to the art world span the globe, showcasing his work in exhibitions across 6 continents over the past 3 decades. He's also an educator, writer, and founder of the Frank Mann Studio, and was just selected to receive the IAOTP's Presidential Award in Arts. Welcome, Frank. It is such an exciting day to be here with you and to chat with you.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
It is absolutely astounding. I mean, we met probably way back at the Plaza Hotel in 2021 when you were on the billboard, the NASDAQ billboard. I was there. We got to know each other better, and it's been a long time, but we've seen each other in between.
Sure.
What have you been up to in the recent time? Just fill us in. All our listeners are just dying to know what has happened in your career in the last few years.
Well, most recently, we were exhibiting in a one-person show in Rome in December of last year. And that has preoccupied most of the last period of last year, but we have new events coming up this year as well. I could speak to the exhibition in Rome, which was well received and was well covered, and by all accounts a success. The fact that we were there, Rome is itself a incredible, rich, artistic, and cultural heritage site. The exhibition was titled Oculus, and Oculus is the title of the most recent group of paintings, and it is also the Latin term for the eye or the sense of sight. And this comports with my lifelong interest, which is vision and visual perception. So Rome is sometimes referred to by the Latin expression caput mundi, which means capital of the world. And some Romans still believe that to be the case. The fact is that Rome remains an incredible center for cultural exchange.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. I was a model way back, and I was able to do the very famous Spanish Step fashion show.
Oh, yes.
Before we had Fashion Week. That was like one of the shows that you had to go to. And wow, besides being horrified and terrified that I was going to fall down the steps and hold my own, I mean, that city just has so much power. The history.
Yes.
Are you saying that Italy and Rome has inspired you in some way in your art?
I think very much so. As an artist, you tend to go where people are most receptive. And I've had so many wonderful people whom we've met over the years, and awards and other very interesting events that we've been invited to. And it certainly does feed your inspiration and feed your work to this day. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I have to share with you, I recently launched 3 projects in Namibia, in my country, and it has to do with enabling children to see better, vision. So
Oh, sure.
although it's got nothing to do with art per se, but
Yes.
what we did was give equipment and provided glasses to children where we realized they were unable to actually be educated because they couldn't see.
Yes, I understand.
Now, with the visual arts, and creative arts, that is on very high priority on my country's list and my
You.
president's list. Would you say what, how can we improve this in our society to make people realize how important creativity and that visual stimulation is with art for our children, for people in general?
Well, I'm not sure I'm most qualified to speak to this in terms of education, but simple exposure to culture can lead children in marvelous paths that are beyond our imagination. I know myself just growing up in a city where I was taken to museums as a child. It meant everything to me to participate in a experience that the uh, grown-ups were engulfed in, that they cared passionately about. It's a great experience for children. I think it's just a consistency of exposure. I really do, whether it's irregardless of the type of art. Yeah.
And I think also you'd agree, they always say that art is actually part of the brain that is actually stimulated, with the cognitive senses
Oh,
and
yes.
mathematics. So, people are seen sometimes as being very arty and whatever. Oh, well, they're not academic.
Yes,
But
that's right.
actually the opposite.
Yes. Well, okay. Yes, it can be the case. But if we go to neuroscience, for example, uh, when you begin to describe the structure of the human eye, things have changed radically in my lifetime. And my understanding is neuroscientists now believe the retina in the back of the eye to be an extension of the brain.
Hmm.
So you speak of education and visual stimulation and education. It is so vital and so important. And I wish the best for those wonderful children.
Well, we're grateful to have you as an advocate for that, especially with IAOTP.
Good.
So, was art always something you wanted to do?
Yes, yes, I'm living the life that I always wanted to live. And it's the culmination of a lifetime interest. I drew from a very young age with siblings and other friends at that age, right? And I caught the attention of some adults who took an interest in me and encouraged me, especially teachers. And as a young adult, I was encouraged by uh, fellow artists, Allen Ginsberg, John Cage, Dorothea Rockburn, and others. And I began exhibiting locally in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, and later New York, and finally internationally.
So, talking about your international accolades throughout your illustrious career, you've won numerous awards, honors, and featured in magazines worldwide. You've been on the billboards, like we said, in New York and Planet Hollywood, in Las Vegas, and many, many other wonderful media reports that have, been exposing your wonderful work. But tell us a little bit about, and congratulations on your achievement in Venice. Tell us a little bit more about that and the highlight of your career. What was the most memorable experience that you've had?
Well, thank you for mentioning that. I have been very grateful for that award. There were so many memorable experiences, but one that comes to mind is the invitation to exhibit in the city of Venice, Italy, during the time of the Venice Biennale. I was invited in 2015 and again in 2019. And the Venice Biennale, people may know, is one of the most important art exhibitions in the world, occurring every 2 years. And it draws the most important artists, curators,
Mhm.
and influential persons in the art industry. Yeah.
But tell us about that experience. I think our listeners want to know more. How do you go about it? How do you display your work? It
Well,
just about sort of
sure,
interacting with the other artists?
sure. I'll try. I almost everything I do is by invitation. So I'm fortunate to have enough of people who are knowledgeable, who have a sense of the work to be invited at the outset. And then these exhibitions are collateral exhibitions. They're
Mhm.
not the primary exhibition that is Venice, that really is only represented by a single artist for each country. But
Wow.
these are collateral events that occur at the same time, and they generate the same number of people and patrons and interest in terms of press and uh, international interest as well. And they're usually large group exhibitions, and it's just a great honor to be a part of it, especially in Venice when people are anxious about seeing everything possible in a very short time. Yes.
Well, I'm very jealous because I've actually kept Venice as one of the cities that I was not going to ever visit unless I found my partner in my life I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay.
So I've had him now, my wonderful husband, for 13 years, and he still has not taken me to Venice. So I'm going to get him to call you.
I'm
For
sure. Please do
some
have him call.
arrangements.
I would be delighted to speak with him.
That's still on our bucket list.
But
So
it's great that you have that to look forward to.
yes, yeah,
Yes,
very excited.
that's
Very
important.
excited.
Yeah.
So talking about all your experiences, you've had a wonderful legacy with IAOTP and you being awarded again this year. What has your experience been like?
Well, it's a big subject. Uh, I consider myself as a contributor to IOATP as a member of a family. It's incredible the conversations and the in-depth conversations I've had with other members, uh, the desire for recognition, I believe, is universal. And I live in appreciation of the other people being recognized and their quest, as well as their innovations. Um, the friendships and respect and the sharing of experiences is vital.
Mhm.
A community of professionals pressing out into the world, leading with their passion. As someone said, it lifts people up.
Mhm.
But I would also like to thank and to honor Stephanie and Chris Sarami, uh, award winners themselves, whose contributions are incredible. I'm humbled by their path and their passion. I'm humbled by my observation of their success, their dedication and their drive, and their just working together. Uh, they seem to exemplify the expression, and I'm paraphrasing here, we go farther when we go together.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. I feel so incredibly blessed to have them in my life. And the changes that we are able to make collectively as a group, as a family, as you say.
That's right.
So
Wonderful.
it's wonderful. And there's not one person I meet in this group, and you're exceptional, obviously, but everybody is just, warm-hearted, got their heart in the right place, doing things in our communities and globally that are just so inspirational. So and I'm very inspired by you today.
Oh, thank you so much. It's
Lovely to
mutual.
know
I
you.
feel the same way.
And on that note, what do you perceive you're going to be doing in the next 5 years? What does that look like for you?
Well, 5 years is difficult for me, but I can speak to the future.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, the exhibition in Rome generated a number of opportunities for me and in other galleries and other cultural centers. So I have been invited back to Rome to show in still another independent gallery, which I'm grateful for, but also galleries in Milan, Munich, London, New York, and Miami.
Oh, wonderful.
And also, I've been invited to exhibit in a collateral exhibition during the 61st edition of the Venice Biennale next year in 2026. So,
Maybe that's my opportunity to come with you.
sure, sure. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Work in terms of my own work, uh, I am looking forward to, again, furthering my experience of the Oculus series, which is one of 5 major groups of work completed to date. The Oculus series is composed of about 30 paintings, and the individual paintings are now getting growing slightly larger, and it may indicate in the future a more, say, monumental presence, but we'll see.
So I'm intrigued. What does your daily creative process look like? From the time you get up, I mean, how many hours do you spend? Do you have to get into a mood? Do you have to have the right music? What inspires you when you do your art?
Well, that's a good question. So many things you do by rote because I've been working for so many years. Um, we generally work most of the time, most all of the time, day and night.
Hmm.
Uh, there is no particular waiting for inspiration. If it doesn't occur, we're working on something else that's we put aside and brought back into the stream. I'm generally working on 5 or 6 paintings at once so that I, due to the drying time of oil paint, and there's a kind of gestation period that I go through before starting one. And as I say, we don't stop when it's the evening. We sometimes work through the evening, work through the night. So I guess that sums it up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not like you clock off at a certain time and go, ah, my
Yeah,
inspiration's just stopped.
yeah,
Like you say, you keep it going. You just
that's
keep
right.
that energy going.
That's right. That's right.
So
I
so
feel
then
it's the best way for me to work it. Yes, thank you.
that's an interesting, yeah, just perspective for someone like me to get that is not an artist in
Sure.
that level. I've heard writer friends of mine say the same thing.
Yes.
Sometimes, do you sometimes in the middle of the night wake up and go, oh, I've got this idea?
Um, frequently.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. No. But usually, if the answer comes, I don't have to act it out in that moment. But a lot of answers come when you're shut down and your subconscious is working overtime. Especially, it's a it's a wonderful thing. It sounds ironic, but deadlines focus you.
Yes. Give
And when you have deadlines, it's a good thing because you work to please others for their calendar, and it also caps your experience and it makes it a broader sense for everybody. Yeah,
Well, I've learned so much today to hear because I just thought artists just go flighty, flighty whenever they feel like it. They get the inspiration, have a glass of wine, maybe paint something, then sit back for the rest of the day. But you actually, it's a business. So
that's right.
how you have to operate to be structured.
Yes, I think so. And I think people in the industry appreciate it when you can, you know, more or less keep your word about what your deadlines are and how you can meet them. But fun for me is watching uh, some business generate others, you know.
Yes.
Fun for me is finding a pathway to success in a kind of complicated industry. So you can take a certain joy in it, but it is business. Yes.
So that was my next question. What would your advice be to anybody aspiring to be an artist? What are your key points for them?
Oh, well, that's a pretty long list, but,
Well,
but I
first,
would,
be talented.
yeah, yeah. Well, there are things that you can control and things you can't. And the best thing to do is not to emphasize the things you can't control because it's endless in life, you know, the demands on our time, family, and career. So I would say to focus on the things that you can control. And a primary component of that is commitment.
Mhm.
It's not just commitment to, I will work daily or I have an aspiration for this group of works, but it's a kind of deeper understanding that whatever happens today, you'll be there tomorrow. And like you say, sleep on it and work with it later. I would say that's primary. There's so many things I could name, but yeah.
That's wonderful advice, and I think our listeners and our members are going to really enjoy this interview. But there's always a burning question. So, what do you do in your free time if you have free time? You obviously you have a big family,
Well,
lots of commitments on the family side, but what do you
yeah,
do for fun?
yeah. No, I don't really have anything I've isolated for free time because it's simply time off from work.
Hmm.
That's the way I look at it. But I am required to travel for certain exhibitions, especially to promote and to support the works and present them. And I enjoy that very much. I enjoy that travel. I also enjoy spending time out of doors
Hmm.
because most of the work I do is sheltered.
Yeah.
And I enjoy reading and keeping up with the industry. It's, that's part of my free time. Yeah.
Well, it's been such a pleasure chatting to you today and to get to know the inside of your world. How do
Thank
our listeners, our members, get in touch with you to learn more?
Sure. Well, let's see. The best way is to probably Google Frank Mann artist, and there you will see a number of photographs and videos for your perusal. The website is www.frankman.com. The best email is probably frankmanstudio@gmail.com.
Mhm.
And on Instagram, I think at Frankman Studio. And you can also search the pages of the IAOTP website. And thank you for asking.
Well, everyone's wanting to get hold of you.
Thank
But
you.
thanks again for your time today, Frank,
Sure.
and wishing you all the best for your next endeavors.
Oh,
And
thank
be
you.
sure to invite me to Venice.
Oh, I certainly will. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to share with your listeners something of my practice. Um, I hope you have a great day and thank you for all that you do. And goodbye for now.
Thank you so much, Frank. We'll
Thank you.
chat soon again. All the
Thank,
best.
I'll look forward to it. Thank you, Michelle.
Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.